Problems are a part of life. They're simply unavoidable. And if you're like me, then you probably tried and failed to avoid all problems. But what is avoidable is freezing, panicking, or losing control when faced with a problem. In today's video, I'm going to share with you 3 ideas, 3 ways, 3 perspective shifts that will help you deal and solve any problem that you might encounter. Hi, I'm Muna. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to have you here. If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe, like, do all of the nice things to support this channel. The ideas that I'm sharing with you today will require you to literally retrain your brain to look at problems in a completely new light. Because you see, we are trained and we are conditioned and programmed to believe that problems are a bad thing. And today I want to try to change your mind a little bit. Try to introduce you to a different way of looking at problems. Maybe a problem is not necessarily a problem. Maybe a problem is an opportunity for you to grow, for you to develop, for you to learn something new. So with everything that I'm sharing with you today, I want you to remember that all of your life, however old you are now, you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, then for 20, 30, 40 years, you've been programmed in a different way. So you might hear these thoughts and think that's too difficult for me to change. And the beauty of personal growth and personal development is that it happens in layers, in small steps. So just be open to listening to a different way of looking at what problems represent in our lives. Does that make sense? The idea here is for us to start living in a more conscious and more intentional way, to raise our level of awareness. I really hope that this is what you're getting from watching my videos and from being on this channel, to understanding that the way that we see the world can shift. Dr. Wayne Dyer said it many years ago in a beautiful, beautiful way. He said, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Let me say that again because it just touches me so much, and I remember the first time I read it, how much it affected me. So I'm going to say it again. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And today we're going to look at problems in a different way, and hopefully these problems will start looking different to us. And we're going to start with the first thing. The first thing is an affirmation. And this affirmation is, there is something for me to learn here. There's something for me to learn here. I would not be facing this problem, whatever it is, big or small. I wouldn't be facing it if I had learned the lesson this problem is trying to teach me. So every time you face a problem, just remind yourself, wow, here's a problem, here's a conflict, here's something, here's a challenge, here's a setback. This is an invitation for me to learn something. And if I don't learn it now, I'm going to face the same problem again. And when I do face it again, it's an invitation to learn something new. So please write it down, type it, do whatever you need to insert this new affirmation in your mind. A problem is an invitation for me to learn something new. There's something new to learn always. That was the first way. The second way and the second idea is to recognize and understand and internalize that the bigger our lives get, the bigger our problems get. It's as simple as that. If you live in a small studio apartment, then the problems that you might have in this apartment are probably going to be small. Maybe it's a problem with the plumbing, or a problem with one of the windows, or something wrong with the microwave. Small problems. But if you decide to move into a bigger house, a house with a pool, a 3 or 4 level house, then maybe you'll have a problem with the filter of the pool. Maybe you'll have a problem with the garden. Maybe you'll have a problem with the stairs leading up to the roof. Bigger house, bigger problems. But you chose that. You chose to live in a bigger house, and thus you chose to have bigger problems. In his book, Mark Manson, in his book, what was his book called? The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F. Let's not use the whole word. In this beautiful book, very simple, very easy to read, I really enjoyed it, recommend you reading it too. He talked about that. He said that we have a certain amount of F's to give, and we get to choose what to care about and what problems to have. One of the examples that he gave is that if you decide to get married, you're choosing to have problems. Problems doesn't mean conflict and fighting with your partner. A problem is, so now I decided to get married. My problem is I need to choose my location for the wedding. My problem is I need to choose where to go on the honeymoon. My problem is to choose who to invite and how to deal with the people I'm not inviting. But I chose to have a wedding, which is an exciting thing. And with that, problems come. You know, does that make sense? So if you have big problems, congratulations, you have a big life. And going back to the first one, affirm once again, I have a problem. There is a chance for me to learn something here. The third way is also from a book written by Marie Forleo. I mentioned her here on the channel before because she's one of my favorite teachers. She wrote a book that's called Everything is Figureoutable. Everything is figureoutable. I repeat this to myself. I can't even count the times I say this to myself every week. Because like you, I face problems every single day. But when I face a problem now, after reading her book and understanding and really internalizing it, I understand that there is no light without darkness. There's no happiness without sadness. There's no problem without a solution. Every problem has a solution. It's just the way life is. It's part of the polarity of life. And every problem is figureoutable. The more we have a clear mind, a clear head, a vision of or a perspective that problems are not a scary thing, problems are not a bad thing, and problems are something for us to learn from and grow from, then we can start thinking of ways to figure things out. And at the end of the day, I promise you, everything is figureoutable. If one of your problems is procrastination, then make sure you check out this video where I talked about why you procrastinate, and it's probably not what you think, and how to stop procrastinating. If your problem is that you feel that you don't have time to do the things that you want to do, then you're gonna love my free masterclass, which you can get from the link underneath this video. It helps you with 5 simple ways to save hours every single week. I promise you, this is what people have been telling me. You're gonna love it. All you need to do is click the link below and you'll receive the masterclass directly to your inbox. Now tell me, which of the 3 ways are you gonna start using, thinking about, changing your view on? I'd love to hear from you and have a conversation in the comments. Thank you once again for choosing to spend your time with me on this video and on this channel. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one.